So I went back, right, and I had the ultrasound thing where they're looking to see what else is in there. And when I was in the waiting room, there was a woman there. I reckon she was about 98. Now, why are they rooting around in her to see what's up with her? Just let her die. Do you know what I mean? If she's not in any pain. No. I'm just saying, how long does she want to be around? And the problem is, she went off. Right, I was sat in the waiting room. She went off into the little cubicle to put her a gown on, and because she's old, she can't bend her arms and that. So she came out with it all open on the back, and it was horrible. It looked like a chicken that hasn't been looked after, right? It was all leathery skin and that, right? Now, the thing is, it's all very well keeping people alive, but the surroundings of the body isn't meant to be lasting that long, is it? Do you know what I mean? The actual skin of a body, it's all very well keeping the heart going, checking the kidneys and all that, but we're not meant to be around this length of time. Yet we're messing with it.
Yeah. Just do the gown up.
You never see insects or anything like that look old. You don't go, look at the state of that.
Because they live about 4 weeks!
Yeah, but maybe that's the way it's meant to be, in the same way maybe we were only meant to live to be 40.
But why did you go in for your operation then? Why didn't you just think, well, this is it, I've had my time?
If they're looking after an old woman who's about 98, I'm having a go.
Well, of course.
Because you want to live on.
She might have been flirting with you.
No, she was...
keeping it open, just so you can have a little look.
But I'm just saying, is that right? Is it right that they're going in there rooting around and stuff? I didn't like it. I didn't like having it done, you know. I don't like going to the hospital and stuff and the doctors and all that. And she was pushing the thing down. And she said, oh, you can have a look if you want. So
what down where?
On my kidneys, she was pushing like this little scanner thing.
Oh, right.
She was going to have a look. I was going, I don't want to have a look. She's going, what's up with you? I said, I don't want to see me insides.
Did they put a tube down the end of your knob?
Yeah, they did all that. We've talked about that in the other...
But you were unconscious, weren't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it? If you know it's going on, it still bothers you. Just because you're asleep.
Well, not really, no.
What do you mean?
Well, why does it bother you if you're asleep?
Well, that's like saying, oh, I woke up and the house was robbed. Oh, it doesn't matter, you're asleep.
Well, no, but...
It's still going to bother you, isn't it?
but you knew it was happening and you did it willingly. It's not pleasant to go in and be made to go unconscious. That's the unpleasant bit, isn't it? And pain.
Well, no, it's more the idea of it, isn't it? That's why, you know, doctors telling you everything they're doing. It's like, don't tell me, you know what you're doing, just do it. I'm not going to have a go at it. You know, it's not like DIY people coming around and going, oh, what you should have done there is, and you can go, oh, I'll have a go at that next time on my own without calling you out. If I get kidney stones again, I'm not going to go, oh, I've had it done before, I know what to do, I'll stick it up there. Doesn't happen, does it? But I can't, what was I saying? So anyway, so she was pushing the scanner over me kidneys and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, it was weird with her, because at no point did she make eye contact with me.
Well, I don't understand what that means. Well, she meant to wink and go, your kidneys are fucked.
No, but it's just weird that she probably spends her days looking inside people more than she does talking to people. I just thought it was odd. That's how she sees people. When she looks at people, she probably sees kidneys.
What, this doctor?
The woman doctor.
Well, doctor?
Yeah.
Right. So, what you're saying is, the strange thing is that she often spends more time looking in people, because she's a doctor, than chatting to them.
Yeah.
And is it weird that Jonathan Ross is the other way around? Because he's a chat show host. He spends more time talking to people than looking inside them.
No, but even when I was
he's
asking
got a different job.
When I was asking her questions, saying, you know, does it look all right? What's it doing? Is it moving about? You know, asking her questions about my kidney. She could have quite easily just turned around and give me a bit of eye contact.
But she was looking, shut up, I'm concentrating, I'm at work.
She was looking at the screen in order to answer your questions.
Yeah, she's at work, she's doing something.
No, but just...
If she was here now going, Karl, what are you doing with that microphone? You'd go, shut the fuck up, I'm doing a podcast.
Did she run this scanner over your head? And if so, did she find anything? We'd like to try and educate Karl, Rick, as, you know, as we have done since we've known him, really, and he doesn't really seem to absorb any information.
No.
And I was asked recently, when I was going back to Bristol, if I would come and talk to a classroom of school children.
All right.
You know, just talking about careers, and particularly my career. And I went down there. It was in Bristol. It was an inner city school, quite rough area.
You're a son of Bristol. You're
exactly. They love me.
You're a
down there.
celebrated son of Bristol. You're a Golden Globe winning person who's returned to the homeland.
It annoys me when I go down there that I'm not met as I get off the train like the Beatles used to be when they came back from America.
By a mayor and a brass band.
Hordes of people, ticker tape.
Forever this day will be called Steve Merchant Day.
Exactly. It frustrates me that I just sneak back into town. There's no fanfare.
Yeah.
But basically they asked me to come talk at this school, and I sort of batted them away and said I'm too busy. And so I foolishly left them the opportunity to ask me again, which they did, and I didn't have a decent excuse, so I went. And I was expecting to talk to maybe a room of sixth formers. They were 9. These kids, 9 and 10 years old. But I realised as I was walking into school, I was suddenly really nervous. I was more nervous than anything I've ever done. Because I realised that I've not spoken to a child like that since I was a child myself. I've never interacted with them. So I didn't know at what level I would be able to pitch this talk. You know, I didn't know what they understood, what ideas they understood. Obviously, in my mind, I was picturing Karl, and then I was ratcheting it up a few years. Sort of IQ-wise. And I went in
So
there,
what did you talk to them about?
and I was supposed to talk about careers, and I realised very quickly that they didn't really understand conceptual
Did they
ideas.
know who you were?
Not really. One or two of them may vaguely knew. One of them went, "What's Rick Gervais like?" And I said,
You got a deep voice.
yeah. Actually, that was one of the teachers. And I'm supposed to be talking about careers, how to get into careers. And I start trying to explain the idea of being a writer, and I say that it's very important to be able to get inside other people's minds, you know, figure out how they think, and how, you know, and trying to understand other people. But this, they didn't really seem to grasp. They started talking amongst each other. You know, they were just losing interest. I lost them straight away. I was devastated.
Oh, no.
So then, and this is the worst thing, right? I started lying to them. Because I realised that every time I told a slight lie, because I thought they'd be interested, they were.
Great.
So
I
carried
know
on
Justin Timberlake.
You're not joking, right? They said, one of them said, "I understand you used to be a DJ," and I went, "Yeah, it's great being a DJ because you get to meet pop stars like Robbie Williams and Beyonce." Never met either of them. Never met them. And they went. One of the kids went, "What's Beyonce like?" and I went, joking. I went, "You wouldn't like her." And I said, "No, I'm joking. She's lovely. She's sweet. She's good as gold." I was making it up. But they were loving this, and the teacher was going, "Would you all like to meet Beyonce?" And they were going, "Yeah." And I was thinking, God, well...
I'll bring her down tomorrow.
Well, exactly, but I don't know why I felt it was like I wanted to win the approval of these 9-year-olds.
That's amazing!
Because my own achievements, I realised, wouldn't mean anything to them. You know, I could talk about the people I have met, but they don't care if I've met Robert De Niro, but they're interested if I've met Girls Aloud. Or me and Girls Aloud, some of the times we've had together, it turns out. But it is fascinating when you have to interact with people, with children like that, because I've got no concept of how to talk to children. To me, I can't grasp the difference really in conversation and chat between, say, a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old. I don't know at what point they learn stuff and pick stuff up. Do they understand? Do you know what I mean? I find it really hard.
I remember once when I was about 9, the headmaster, deputy headmaster, used to do a little fable. I've talked about him in stand-up. He used to do a little fable. There's one I remember where he got a tube of toothpaste, and he got someone up. He said, "You, come out here. Squeeze this tube of toothpaste out on this board." And he squeezed it all out, right? He squeezed it all out and emptied it. He went, "Now put it back in." And the kid tried to struggle, and he goes, "You can't do it." He said, "It's easier to do something than undo it." Okay, go back to class. Like people are going, "Oh, I get it. I know what he means."
Yeah.
They're just thinking, don't squeeze all the toothpaste out.
Yeah.
Just save some.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's no way they're going to take on
No,
that
exactly.
metaphor at the
It's
age
too
of 9.
conceptual, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, just stop misbehaving or I'll smack you. That worked. Karl, have you had to have any dealings with kids? How do you get on with kids? Do you relate to them? Or are they just as angry and perplexed by your views as we are?
I mean, it's with everything, isn't it? Everyone's different and that. I can get on with some young kids alright, and some of them are, like, you know, a bit cocky and what have you. But, I'm sort of getting on with the baby at the moment, because, I've been made a godfather.
Think of that.
So,
Wow, who did they reject?
I know.
no, I mean,
Who said no?
Yeah.
How many people said no?
I did at first, and
Brilliant.
then Suzanne said, "Look, it's not really a choice. It's not like a job interview or something that you're thinking about. Is it a good thing? So you've been asked. You should take it on."
But what are they? What if they? Hold on. If you're the godfather of this
Yeah.
kid, presumably you're friends with them, and they probably listen
Yeah,
to this
yeah, they're good
podcast.
friends.
So now they're hearing, for the first time, that you didn't want to be
Yeah,
godfather.
but I think that's good because they can hear that. You know, it wasn't. I didn't just do it because I was asked. I thought about it. I thought it through. You know, I was worried. It was kind of like, is this a job? And I was just
Well, it's
asking
nothing
him,
but tokenistic, is it? You're not
well,
really
this is what I looked into. I said, we went back, and I said, right, I've been thinking about this thing. I've heard that it's my job. If anything happens to them, I've got to kick in. I'd have to start looking after the baby. So I said, right, how many of you are in your family? If that happens, am I going to start getting a phone call or what? And they said, no, there's a big family. You're not, you know, you're at the bottom of the list. So I was like, how many? And just finding out what their age is. And you know, I've only got a small flat. It would have to sleep in the sink or something, right? So I checked all that out, and all safe. So this baby is spooking me out a bit because it doesn't blink, and that's pretty weird when you're sort of talking to it and you're thinking, it's not blinking.
Are you sure it's not asleep?
No, it's honestly, it's weird. If something doesn't blink, it's like it's evil. Because blinking just makes something look a bit more friendly, doesn't it? And I was stood there, you know, talking to it. I just tell it little stories about anything. It's lying there looking up at me.
How old is it?
It's must be about 2.5 months.
Well then, why are you telling it stories?
Because it likes it. But it's just weird how, like, then I'll sort of forget the story because I'm looking at it going, it's not blinked yet. It's been about 10 minutes, it's not blinking. So then I forget the end of the story and I just walk away because it's not bothered anyway. It's probably not listening, is it? But
What a pointless tale! What a pointless tale now and at the time.
Yeah.
So, alright, Karl?
Right.
What's your attitude? Is it because you're tired?
Yeah.
Well, why are you tired, though?
You weren't staying up watching those Channel 5 films again, were you?
I'll tell you what, me and Steve were having a little meeting yesterday over lunch about, you know, planning stuff for the show. And, Gary Kemp came up to me, started having a little chat about old times, and, I went, oh yeah. As he went away, Steve said, right, think of this. He said, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. Remember that sentence, don't take this the wrong way. So there's a right way and a wrong way I could have taken this comment. He went, nodded to sort of Gary Kemp and went, he's aged better than you. I went, well, how could I take that the wrong way?
Yeah, it's not offensive.
No. Well, the point is this. He didn't know me 20 years ago, so he's actually saying, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. He looks better than you do.
Yeah, well, he does.
But why say that, Karl?
What?
Did you really say that?
Yeah, although, can I just backtracking for a second? I love the fact you said you bumped into Gary Kemp and you reminisced about old times. What old times did you share with Gary
Well, no,
Kemp?
he came up and said, did we drop the pops together? And I went, no, I did Razzmatazz. He said, oh, we did Razzmatazz. I think he was thinking, had he ever met me before? But he hadn't, because we hadn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
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 And,
But if you had to make an objective analysis...
I wouldn't. I think that's out of order.
Sure, sure. I mean, you're always slagging me off, but apparently you can't
well,
make a value judgment on something else. No.
I wouldn't do
Oh,
that.
gee.
Well, because you're morally all over the place. You don't know, you don't know where you're coming and going.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Sure. You should hear what I say about you behind your back.
So, would you say you're better looking now than you were? Or
Then I'm what?
would you say you're better looking now than you were?
Than I was when?
Well, like, you know, have you aged well?
Yes.
You've aged well.
Yeah, I've kept my looks.
bit of Dando.
Bit Evan Dana, this would be lovely, yeah.
Radiohead. Go to sleep. That's good, isn't it? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant.
No,
Great DJing there.
Well, I haven't
Good,
heard it before.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was very good. It was very good. I was just watching cable TV. I do a lot of that, and there's an advert I've noticed. It reminded me of the sort of adverts you used to see when I was a kid. It's one of those attempts to kind of educate young people, but doing it in
Yeah.
It's on MTV, but it's one of those things where it's clearly been made by people who are in their mid-40s.
Who have never been cool.
Who have never been cool.
Yeah.
Who've been working really hard to get into TV all their lives, and now are trying to appeal to, you know, funky and possibly wayward young people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
Nerdy wells.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a kind of stunning model, and two of her stunning model friends, but they're just a couple of average girls, you know,
Sure.
going about their business. And, you know, it says something like, it's all shot very funkily, like a kind of, you know, lock, stock and two smoking barrels kind of thing. And, it's a girl, and she's just grooving along with her friends, and it's kind of like, the captions are things like, you know, Isabella's 17. She's cool, she's quite funky, she's got these great friends, and they're sort of hanging out and laughing. And, she just pops into a tattoo parlour.
Sure.
Why not? Her friends are like, what are you doing? But she just goes in, you know, she has a tattoo done, and it sort of says, she's wild, she's crazy. You know, she lives life as she sees it. She takes every day as it it comes. She's not tied down or anything. She doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. So
it just says don't smoke cigarettes. If you think she's cool.
If you think all this is cool, then you probably won't want to smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
If you want to be cool,
yeah,
then
like
don't.
Isabella or whatever.
Except the thing with that is that people watching that, the youth watching that will go, well, Bill at my school, he smokes and he's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool, this is the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's not that the impulse is wrong. The message is fine. It's just this thing I can't imagine those things ever working with young people.
No.
With youths. It's like when you know, what was it?
What it will do is that you'll get a lot of 13 and 14-year-olds sneaking out and getting a tattoo.
Exactly.
So the parents will be going, I'd rather she smoked.
Exactly. She might give that up sometimes. That's the life.
She's got a spider's web on her face now for the rest of her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, you remember that thing when they tried to get young people to vote? Do you remember that? Was it Rock the Vote? Was it called Rock the Vote? Was it people like Billy Bragg and people kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know who that appeals to. I don't know, some youth is kind of smashing up a bus shelter, throwing bricks at old people.
Goes,
and then
Billy
Bragg?
Billy Bragg, yeah.
I just can't, I don't believe it ever. I think it was Mick Hucknall was another one. What's that, Mick?
Oh, dear. I remember the ones where you just, if you were gonna go off with a stranger, your cat went, well, don't.
Yeah.
Ask mummy first.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to jump in cars left, right and centre, but my cat, when I was like 5 or 6, would go, and I go, good point.
Yeah.
You're right, he could be a nutter.
But I seem to remember the Charlie's, the Charlie Says. It was Charlie Says, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie Says.
Charlie Says.
I always find them really unnerving. He lived in that really eerie kind of world where you never really saw
cartoon.
anyone. Yeah, but it was very kind of, it was very eerie. It wasn't very kind of comforting.
No,
world.
they hadn't spent a lot of money on the cartoon, had they? No.
But I always got the sense with him that he was probably really quite lonely.
But I like the fact is that
he had a cat,
Mummy
and a
was
cat could
so
talk.
pleased. But by the time I came out, they'd gone off and I missed the picnic. But Mummy was so pleased that I'd asked her. She gave me an apple.
No, I think
and Charlie got something he liked. He gets a fish.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking an apple.
No, I seem to remember it being that.
I'll get an apple anyway. Give me some sweets.
Yeah, or a tattoo.
I always thought there was a con when your parents got you some clothes you needed for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm not falling for that.
Exactly.
I'd go, look, I'm getting the clothes anyway. I want battling tops.
But the Charlie Says, I seem to remember when they asked him to go off for the picnic. By the time he'd asked Mum, because she was on the phone, I don't know who she was chatting to in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
The kids had gone.
One of her,
and I seem to remember
one of her clients.
Exactly. I seem to remember that he said, "Don't worry, it was fine because Mum took him and Charlie on a picnic."
Not as good.
Who'd rather go with your mates,
yeah,
or with your mum
on a
and
picnic?
And your cat?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think they were friends.
The Scotch egg stinks of fish. Well, I had to bring it for Charlie. Don't bring raw fish in the picnic basket.
But I think they weren't friends with us. They were just local kids who go, let's go and ask that weirdo with the cat who wants to come down the park.
Let's go and ask the weirdo who thinks the cat can talk,
yeah.
and then run away when he goes to ask his mum.
When he goes off to ask his mum, they're just going,
yeah.
Ask your mum, ask your mum.
Yeah. Hello, hiya. Alright, we're the local lads, the cool local lads. We smoke, we got tattoos. Do you want to come and play with some puppies in the disused mine? Ask your mum first. Quick, run.
Exactly.
Look, he's talking to the cat. Look, he's talking to the cat.
They were just round the corner spying on him. They were just laughing. There was no picnic.
Did you ever go on a picnic, Karl? Was there places to go in Manchester, or was it like Quarryland mostly?
The problem with those adverts, like when I was growing up, they'd sort of give you ideas, because remember the Charlie's one, right? And we were on holiday, right? And I met these two lads who are knocking about with like mates and that. And that advert came on, and we thought it'd be a good idea to wind his mum up, because this advert had just been on saying, kids are going missing in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So we said, oh, this will be a good laugh. We put the kid in the wardrobe. His mum came back from shopping. We said, oh, he's gone missing. We haven't seen him for hours.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's an appalling
How old were you?
About 13.
And what was his mum? She must have been.
Yeah, she was going mad, and that's when we thought, oh god, we've gone. Will we say anything? Will we pretend we don't know where he is?
Open the wardrobe, he'd suffocated.
Yeah. That's horrible, Karl.
I know, but it's just what you do, isn't it? It's just what you do.
Well, no, you do.
What do you mean? It's just what you do. What was it? Was he in the wardrobe? Was he listening to this? Why didn't he go, Mum, it's alright, when he heard her crying?
No, she wasn't crying, she was just panicking and like screaming a little bit and that.
Screaming a little bit.
Okay, we'll tell her when the screaming starts.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, what's the other thing? Like, on the same, like, all this was going on when I was growing up. And, one time we're on holiday, and my mum says, right, if you're going on the beach, it's a big beach, and But, you know, if you're going to go out and play there, I need to know where you are.
So
what
where
part
are
of
these
the beach you're going
bells? Where this cowbell round your neck?
She gave me a balloon.
Good
Give you
idea.
a balloon.
A balloon, and it just, you know, sort of attached to my arm, so wherever I was playing in the sea and that, you can see the balloon and that.
Brilliant.
But then the problem was, everyone else thought that's a good idea.
Cool.
And it was just like loads of kids with balloons and that.
Oh, I ruined it.
So that didn't work.
Yeah.
Had to bin that idea.
Weren't you in a car park once?
Oh no, it was New Year, and we were all gathering up. You know, like in Trafalgar Square at New Year, everyone gathers and they have a big kind of party and stuff. Well, in Bristol, they do something very similar on a smaller scale. And I was there one New Year, I was with my friends, and for some reason I picked up a balloon during the evening. You know, I don't know where I got it from, but I was holding this balloon, and these girls came up to me, and I thought, yeah, nice, you know, maybe a little New Year kiss. They came up, they said, hey, are you going to be here for a while? And I said, well, yeah, I probably will. They said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you at midnight. What do you mean? Because I was so tall and had a balloon, I was towering above everyone else. I said, what? They said, we're going to meet back at you at midnight.
This is...
They said, don't worry, you can go about your business, because we can see you wherever you are.
This is where Nelson's column is.
No. No, this is in Bristol.
Oh, right, okay,
yeah. And so I'm sort of wandering around, and then at midnight these two girls turned up again, and some of these lads come and meet them, and they're sort of laughing and joking. I'm thinking, oh, they're probably going to invite me back to a party. I watched them get in a cab. They went off. They had a wild night. But then I did have a balloon, so it was a great New Year for me.
I did have a balloon. Oh, should we have a little bit of two-pack?
You know, whilst you've been working on that, I've been travelling about a bit. Went to Dorset, right? Nice beach there. And you know those huts you get, like a hut on the beach, and
where you get changed?
You can get changed in it, but they're better than that. It's like you can put a telly in it, sofa if you want.
Oh, you don't mean the Victorian changing hut?
Yeah,
you mean
those
like
sort of things? It's sort of bigger than that.
Yeah.
And we're walking down there, and there's a really sort of big fat family in one of them. There's about 4 of them, and you could tell that they've never had a game of anything, do you know what I mean? They just sit down there, eating ice creams, looking at the sea and what have you. And the weird thing is, the little fat kid, the youngest one, who must have been, I don't know, about 8, he was really fat, to the point of, you couldn't see his neck.
Yeah.
And he sat at the front of his mum and dad and his older sister. He sat there, and he had a frisbee, and I thought, look, they don't want to play with him. I mean, that's an active game to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frisbee. As we got closer, he was just using it to eat Maltesers out of. I just thought, even, again, you know, the one active thing he's got is using it to eat out of.
Yeah. Extraordinary.
And that just sums up what people are like now when it comes to keeping fit and activities.
Oh, that's fantastic.
One thing I've noticed, that because I occasionally go to the gym, and you know those guys who work out constantly to give themselves extraordinary physiques, just they're on the trip, they're on the weights, and they're really, I notice in the summer particularly, those guys cannot wait to get their shirts off.
Yeah.
Everywhere you see, they're walking around, if they've got a good torso, they are walking shirts off. Even, I think, if you go to nightclubs, I notice there's always one guy who's thinking, well, I have put so much work into this body, I have got to get my shirt off on the dance floor.
A vest, yeah.
You know, and it comes straight off.
A brand new tattoo, I'm not covering that up.
Exactly.
I've paid a lot for it, let's see it.
Yeah.
But that's what we were saying about bodies. I can't remember why we were talking about it. We've got to a point in science now that you can change your head. Right?
No, well, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It was a programme on... It was done in the 50s or 60s where they stuck a monkey's brain on a stick and had it wired up and it still worked, right?
Right, okay.
And that was in, like, the 60s or
Right,
whatever.
okay. Well,
So,
to say to change your head makes no sense at all. Because if you put a different head on a different body, you're changing the body.
yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm about to say to you, though.
What?
That's what I'm saying. That I'd be more confident if I had someone else's body, because if anyone dissed it, I can go, no, it's bad, innit? But it's
What
not
are you
mine.
talking about?
What? It's like, say,
As opposed to someone else's head?
yeah. Well,
What,
it
you'd
wouldn't be me, would it? The head is me.
Well, of course it is. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
the
what do you
head's
mean?
me.
You'd be happier having someone else's body? What, than your own?
What I mean is, say if you're wandering about, for some reason, there's an incident. You have to take your top off and that, and everyone's looking at you, right? And you're a bit sort of, you know, you haven't got the muscles and that, you haven't got the 6-pack.
Right.
Which isn't that nice anyway. I don't know why that's become a nice thing, really, seeing the insides of you. You might as well... I mean, I know I came up with the see-through skin idea, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? You can see stuff.
No, it's the muscle in front of the...
No, it's not. Sometimes
it is.
you can
It's
see,
not the,
It's not the outline of your
No,
organs.
you can't see tubes.
You can see tubes and veins and stuff.
Well, you can see veins.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that. That's why we've got skin over it. Is
Well,
what
stop
I mean.
looking at naked men, then.
Why
No,
you
but
keep
sometimes you can't help it because it's been hot, and like you say, there's people walking about with vests on and that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, say if some incident happened, I'm walking about with my top off.
Right.
Girls are laughing at me, right?
Why?
Dunno, they might.
Yeah, go on. So they wouldn't look at your body, they'd all look at your head.
So what I mean is,
Yeah.
rewind that, right, and imagine all that happens again, but I've got someone else's body.
Right.
Whose body?
Just some fella who's died, and my body was injured, and they said, we've got a new body in. You can
Right.
have it. We'll
Yeah.
stick your head on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, say if...
They're laughing at you.
they are
laughing at the body,
they're laughing
yeah.
at the body,
Yeah.
but at least I'd be able to sort of go, I know it's a mess, but it's not mine. At least I don't have to claim ownership.
So all of this extraordinary technology that can make a head, put one head on another person's body, so you can go, it's not my body.
No.
But
And it's not your own.
I'm not being funny though. So if you have a body transplant, right, and you're there, you're at home, naked, you look down,
Yeah.
lovely penis and a set of testicles,
Yeah.
right? What do you do with them?
What do you mean? What am I doing with them?
Well, do you like them?
Well, you wouldn't mess about with them as much as if they were your own.
But if you did mess about with them, would you feel guilty that you were messing about with another man's testicles and penis?
And it's the full body.
Yeah.
No, because they're not my hands either.
You're a genius! You're a fucking genius! So what you're doing is watching someone else wank.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee's that. He's gone and written it down again.
That's the ever-changing jingle for Karl's diary, excerpts of which we like to read each week. Walked through Covent Garden. There were 5 of them mimes knocking about. I don't understand why people take pictures of mimes. Everyone looks like a mime in a picture.
That's so true. That's really true. If the point is they're staying still, if that's their skill, a picture won't tell that story. That's absolutely true.
My dad took the cat to be put down today because it kept bumping into things since losing its sight. My mum said she's not going to get another one. She said the parrot is looking worried as it's seen the budgie and the cat go in the space of 3 months.
Your mum said the parrot's looking worried. What happened to the cat then?
It gets into a lot of fights. It lost one eye, and then it got into another fight and lost another.
Oh,
and it was just walking around bumping into stuff. The vet sort of said, oh, we can do stuff to keep it alive and all that, but it's a bit out of order, isn't it? Because it costs a fortune, they shouldn't tell you.
But
Mum and Dad can't afford to have eyes put on it and stuff.
no, you can't have eyes put on a cat anyway.
No, but they said, oh, we can do something here. We can
What?
have its eyes sorted out.
But I don't think you should be allowed cats.
Why?
Not the Pilkington family.
Why not? Well,
They
they have
keep
good
dying.
lives. Yeah, I know, but they have good lives whilst they're still knocking about. It's just that we get through them.
It's a good job you're not going to have kids.
Oh, God almighty. I can't believe it.
A mate sent me a story on email about a bloke in China who has this weird illness that means he can't have his picture taken. That's not the weird bit. If he tries, his body doesn't appear in the photo.
Don't talk shit.
He has had group pictures taken and everyone appeared apart from him.
Don't talk shit.
The
That's
story
bollocks.
had a picture next to it of a family photo and it said he was stood at the back, but you couldn't see him.
Right, he wasn't in the picture.
He was in the picture.
No, he wasn't in the picture.
We've done loads of tests and stuff.
No,
on him.
I haven't done loads of tests. This is bollocks. There's no way this is scientifically possible. What's his want? Yeah, now he's wanted. Just a white bit of paper up on the police wall. Have you seen this man? What man? If you see him, tell us. You're talking shit.
Suzanne watched the film You've Got Mail tonight for about the 14th time. I don't think you could properly fancy someone without seeing them. unless you're blind. I think it's odd when blind people have affairs. Why is that odd?
Just because most stuff is based on looks, isn't it? So you think once they've found someone, they're happy with them. Stick with them.
But no, it's not true. But I mean, most things are based on looks.
What I mean is when you first like meet someone and that.
Well, initially it's only looks because you don't know them.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it?
Well, no, it's just what I think. I'm not saying that's like fact or anything. I'm just thinking if you're blind, why mess about?
You're still basing on it if it's only looks that people find. What?
Yeah, I'm just saying, so why is a blind person messing about having an affair?
Because I'm saying that presumably that blind person isn't basing anything on looks.
I just, alright, I mean, maybe that's not, I mean more like...
Do you want me to cross it out? Shall I cross it out? Because
it's just the same way, I think I put how, you know, people, I read something in a Sunday paper once with some bloke who was going out with some woman, he ended up going out with a sister who was a twin. If you're going to have a change, have a change.
Spoke to Ricky about trips to the moon. He was up for going just to see what the world looks like. I came up with the idea of a giant mirror on the moon that would reflect the world back. He had a few questions, but I had the answers.
Yeah.
He changed the subject. I won.
Right. My first question was, how would you get it up there? He said bit by bit. That'd be a good mirror then, wouldn't it? I said, how big would it be? He went, you'd still need a telescope. I said, how would you get it on the right side of the moon, always facing the right? He went, what? He went, does the moon move then? I went, yes.
And if we don't like the mirror on the moon, we can always wallpaper over it. It's Suzanne's birthday tomorrow, so I've got to get her something. I sometimes think it would be best if we didn't celebrate birthdays. I think people would live a bit longer if they didn't know how old they were. Age puts restrictions on things. She said something about wanting one of them posh badges to put on her coat. I will look for one later.
I love the fact that around the time that you've got to buy Suzanne her birthday present, you think that birthday presents are a bad idea.
Got up early, it's Suzanne's birthday, gave her the card and present. She was well happy with her posh badge. She wore it to work. It's quite nice to hear a moment where she was actually happy for once in your company. They always say when you get someone a present, you should buy them something they wouldn't buy themselves. Daft rule. I want something I would buy myself if I had the money. When I was young, me Auntie Nora got me a present I wouldn't buy myself. It was a t-shirt with her face on.
Joe Jackson, is she really going out with him on XFM? Right, it's the time that most people, I imagine, have been waiting for. Monkey news.
Play the jingle.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
Should be ready, Karl.
That's amazing, isn't it? It's like Nicholas Witchell. The bomb. No, what's not the first? Come on!
No, it's always difficult, isn't it, to sort of find something that's good each week, right? Last week, we did the chimp.
It is for us, yeah.
We had the chimps who were running a health spa.
Yeah.
Right. We've covered the one who nicked a car to go on to Spain.
Yep.
To sort his future out.
All shite. The
hairdresser, I think we've done that one, the little monkey hairdresser. This week, we're looking at monkeys, that they're using. Do you know, like monkeys? They know how like.
I've lost the will to live, Steve.
Oh, well, I don't want to do it.
But come on, come on.
What are monkeys good at?
What are monkeys good at?
Yeah.
Well, running small businesses, cutting people's hair, and driving cars.
Yeah, they love Spain.
Oh, and foiling bank robberies.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, something else they're good at, right, is like weighing up the situation.
Oh God!
If you stick them in like a field with loads of like obstacles on it, right? They're good at sort of, I can get over that, and I climb over that, I'll swing from there to there, that sort of thing, right?
Okay.
So the people in charge of somewhere, I thought,
somewhere.
I thought we can use that skill, right? And what they've done is they've got a load of little monkeys, right? They've given them an IQ test.
Yeah.
And the ones that score above 80, right?
Get to produce this show next week.
Join the army.
Right. How do they join the army, and what do they do?
They just, what they do is they set little obstacle courses up for them. They do that. They do a cross-country run. They do, the IQ
cross-country
test.
run?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once they've done all that, they make them a little uniform, made to measure little uniform.
Slightly longer arms, shorter legs than usual, yeah.
Yeah. And, basically then they taught how to use a gun and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course they are. You're talking rubbish again.
This came through literally, you know, pretty late on, so...
So you've not had a chance to corroborate all the facts, as usual?
Just have a look.
Right, it's the bit I'm looking for is, well, A, why are they doing it? Why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Why do we need monkeys in the army? And secondly, why are we giving them guns? I'll just check to see if any of that
I love that we
answered.
only let gays in recently.
Yeah. Yep. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Just have a look.
I can't read it, there's too much pressure.
Well, it's rubbish.
Just have a...
But it's rubbish. They don't get it. It's the way that there are things. There are animal cores, right? There are horses. There are dolphins, sea lions. You know, there are lots and lots of animals in the army, but they don't have to pass an obstacle test as such, and they're not taught to fire guns. You've straight away assumed that there's going to be loads of squads of men, and then just one little monkey in the middle. Like, you know, he came second on the test. He's in, boys.
What do you think, Steve? You've read it?
Well, as ever, Carl, this is an arbitrary email sent by one of our listeners. You know what Ricky and I think of them. and so we're not really basing this on hard evidence. We're basing it on the ramblings of one of our listeners.
Rubbish. Once again, lazy, rubbish, uncorroborated, nonsense. The stupid test that you got wrong.
Rick, that sounds like monkey news to me. Going to my mum and dad's today.
Oh.
I'll cut to the chase, Rick. They basically, we got about 4 pages where they drive to his mum and dad's.
Oh,
but
Jesus
I'll skip
Christ.
past that because it takes fucking forever. Got there, mum and dad, his mum made him some dinner. The old woman next door, brackets, whose man was a witch, just pop that in brackets. Just pop that in brackets. I think we've discussed that before, actually, the old woman whose mum was a witch.
Whose man was a witch?
Yeah.
Oh!
The old woman next door has been worrying because she keeps seeing adverts on the telly about changing to digital TV. She's saying she doesn't want wires drilled into her walls because they'll make a mess. Me dad told her that it doesn't matter because it'll probably won't happen until 2012 and she'll be dead by then.
He didn't say that to her, though, did
No, he did. They've got, you know, she's old. She knows she's going to die. I mean, it's something we've all got in common. And he's right, isn't he? Why is she worrying about it? Maybe that's sorted it out. Put it into perspective for her. You will be dead when this happens. Don't be worrying about it. But everybody worries, don't they? You've got that little sort of hole in your head that you fill with worries. You know, everyone's got to fill that little worry hole with worries, and that's us.
Worry hole. Everyone's got to fill the
we've
worry
never
hole
got
with
to assume
worry.
that there's a worry hole.
A worry hole.
Unbelievable. With worries.
I love the fact that, you know, doctors in a million years would dig this up and go, humans used to have a worry hole.
Went to bed around midnight. Suzanne and I decided to sleep tops and tails, because it made me get a bit more room. Me dad had cut a bit off the mattress to fit it between 2 cupboards. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes just sawing off a bit of the mattress. You sort of roll to the edge, but the weight of the blankets keeps you in. This is like something from a Roald Dahl book.
No, it's just, you know, you think anything, you can sort of trim anything, can't you, and it normally works. But with a mattress, I mean, he only took off, I don't know how long that is, but he's sawn off about that much on the mattress and then has stapled it back together again.
Amazing.
And it just makes so much difference.
Of course it does, because a mattress is a very carefully designed object.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, though, would you?
Well, you
just
would
think
if you had a
it's full of
fucking brain in
sponge.
your nut.
No.
Someone took his brain out of his worry hole? Oh, God. He sawed a mattress in half. So we decided to sleep tops and tails. It just gets stranger.
So strange. Why?
He did it to make the room nicer with the cupboards on either side.
So he sawed a mattress in half.
Well, not in half.
Can you imagine how much hard it must be to saw a mattress in half? What did he use? What, a big electric saw?
Well, it must have been, yeah, because there's a lot of springs and stuff in there.
Jesus.
So what happens to the springs? They just spring out the sides.
Well, some sort of stick out a little bit, but you're not lying on top, are you? They come out the side. So he's just got a bit of gaffer tape and a staple gun.
Unbelievable.
Holy man alive. It's like...
Does he run it as a hotel? That's unbelievable.
There are squats with better bedding arrangements.
Well, we've had a bit of a bad thing in our house about mattresses and that, because when we first bought our first flat in Salford, you know what it's like when you buy somewhere, you sort of, you haven't got any money, have you, to buy extra stuff that you need? So we bought a bed, right? But there's that rip-off thing with beds where you buy a bed, but a mattress doesn't come with it, which I've never understood that. Because it's not a bed, is it? Without that mattress, it's not a bed. It's a car without an engine. You wouldn't go, there you go. Well, that seems cheap. Well, there's no engine in it. So we bought this, like, you know, flat and what have you. And we bought the bed. And then, like, we haven't got a mattress. So my dad got one from Uncle Alf. No, well, from that Uncle Alf fella, because he had one in his van that he used to use now and again if he was, like, travelling round. He'd just keep in the back on this mattress.
Amazing.
A bloke who drove around in a van with a mattress in the back.
So Uncle Alf, right? Well, tell me about Uncle Alf.
Well, you know about him, he's the one who slept in a dinghy.
Because his mattress was in his car.
Yeah, why didn't he go, oh, well, Alf, where's the bed? Left it in the car again. Oh, blow up the dinghy. Blow up the dinghy. I'm not going to go out and get the, not at this time of night.
So anyway, my dad got me his mattress, and it just stunk of diesel. And Suzanne was like, oh, I'm not happy with this. And I think she realised sort of what sort of family
she got herself into.
Wow, she landed on her feet when she got you.
So now she's always a bit touchy about, you know, mattresses and things.
Unbelievable.
Uncle Alf, of course, sadly passed away when he couldn't escape from his sinking ship.
The fire engines were too late. No one got out of the way because they were laughing so much.
The mad woman next door saw me and said, hello, Clive. You live in a nursery rhyme. The old man down the road, the old woman next door whose mum's a witch, Uncle Alf who lives in a dinghy.
This is like not a real place. It's like fucking Narnia.
It's a children's TV programme.
Unbelievable. Oh, God. Oh, just all of them there on this broken mattress trying to find the golden ticket. Oh, God. Oh, God.
The old fella down the road talked to my dad a bit. He kept bees in the back garden.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Here comes the bee man.
His Yorkie dog was knocking about when he was messing with them, and it ended up getting stung 150 times.
Oh, little bastard! What is he doing?
It's not dead, but it cost a lot to get all the stings out. I don't know why people keep dangerous pets and insects. The amount of gear he had to wear to play with them is barmy. I don't think he's playing with the bees.
He's not playing with them, is he?
Well, what is he doing then?
Well, I don't know, but I think he should get the dog the same protection.
Yeah, but that's just it, isn't it? It's like, you can't mix your pets. If you've got a snake, you don't have a mouse. Do you know what I mean? They don't get on. And it's the same with them. Don't have bees. I can't imagine one bit of enjoyment. The only thing he does is the honey. And it's like, well, how much is that to buy? It's not worth messing about wearing a big white suit just to get some honey. There's a shop down the road.
Bees are kept for a very good reason, aren't they?
What?
For honey.
Yeah, no, but like I say, you can buy honey for next to nothing.
Where do you think... What do you mean? But where does the honey come from that you buy?
Yeah, from some proper bee farm. Let them do it. All he's doing, he's not making loads of pots of honey. He's looking after himself. And the thing with honey is it doesn't go off either.
No, it doesn't, no.
So get 10 bees, get the honey made, kick them out.
But you eat the honey, that's the point.
Yeah, I know, but
it doesn't. You can't eat it and then it's still there in the jar. It's not magical. Maybe in your world,
no.
Uncle Fred had that never-ending jar of honey.
But how much honey do you eat? What I'm saying is, it's one of them things in it that you buy, and you can move into a new house, buy some honey, and when you leave that house, that honey's still in the cupboard. You don't eat that much of it. So get 10 bees, get your honey's worth.
10 bees! Imagine keeping 10 bees!
Well, just get them to do the graft. If you got loads of bees, they're not all pulling the weight, are they? Because they'll go, well, I'm not doing any, because I'll leave it to the others.
No!
Whereas if you've got 10 bees, you know that none of them are pulling the weight if there's no honey. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not a workhouse. Bees don't knock around saying, I've got a bad back.
Anyway, back to this reading from the Twits. The news covered a story about a fish that knocked about 400 million years ago. It was 33 feet long and had a jaw strong enough to eat a shark in one go. All the dangerous stuff seems to die out, and yet things that you think wouldn't stand a chance, like worms, are still here, yet they have no legs or eyes. I saw a future human in the news article the other month about the future woman. She had 3 breasts. They looked alright.
Well, no, that's not... I can't see how that's going to ever evolve.
No, well, they say about how about evolving and that. I read that there's going to be ugly people. People are starting to go ugly.
Yeah, they're still going to have bilateral symmetry, I imagine.
I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you now, right? They're talking about like people who are just like, you know, you look at them and you go, oh, look at the state of that, right? And it'll get to a point when we're all so ugly that no one will have it away, and we're just going to die out.
Well, that's not true either. That's not true either.
That is the biggest worry.
Well, no, so...
That's the world's biggest
So
worry.
as we evolve and we change, our mindset doesn't change. We're still going, I wish we looked like they did a million years ago. I don't fancy anything.
No, but look how things do change.
But why are we all going to get ugly? I don't understand.
It's just the air and stuff, innit? It's just,
The air or
yeah,
the
just,
hair?
you know, the air that we breathe and stuff, and the food we eat. Everything's changing, and we're not going to look that healthy, and we're just all going to go ugly. You've only got to look at some stuff that's in the sea, and you think, look at the state of that.
What's
and that's
got to
because
do with the human evolution?
But the stuff in
Because
the
they've
sea
been
is
around
still
longer.
propagating.
Yeah, but they've been around longer than us.
But it's still reproducing, so your theory falls down.
But they're deep down, aren't they, in the dark, so they probably can't see what they're having it away with. If they were up on the outside, they'd have died out ages ago.
Why? Because they wouldn't fancy the other stonefish or
Yeah, because they're
sea
really
slug.
odd-looking. I can't remember the name. I think it was a viper something. It was just a head.
But Carl, the
A fish
reason...
that's just a head. It was well ugly.
Watched a programme about the twins this morning. It was filmed 16 years ago. They are mental. They did everything together, including the vacking up. Phone calls had to happen twice so they could both have the same chat, and they said the same stuff at the same time. Well weird. The bloke who I watched it with, I don't know who that is, just some homeless guys that you just invited into the
No,
flat?
just someone I've been sort of working with.
Sure, a mate of yours. He said he fantasised about having it away with a pair of twins. I don't see the point in this. If you're going to have two of something, I would prefer to have two different women. If I had two cars, I wouldn't have the same one twice. Same rule with women. I don't even normally like buying the same pair of trainers twice in a row.
No, if you're going to have something new, make a change. It's like that fella who was going out with a woman and then left her and went out with a twin sister. Not worth it.
Not worth it!
It's not worth the upheaval, is it? Because it's exactly the same model.
I watched the final of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It was between singer Jason Donovan, singer Mylene Klass, and singer Matt out of a boy band. I had my money on Donovan, but Matt won it. I think it was because of his last task. He ate a fisheye, some grubs, a big fat insect that they have on every year, a crocodile knob, and a kangaroo anus. I feel like we've come there, Rick, to where we entered.
It was this time last year when we first started the podcast that we were talking about I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and you coined the famous phrase, I could eat a knob at night.
Yeah.
So it's full circle. It's just the last series finished recently, and it was astounding that he ate a crocodile knob, he ate a crocodile eye, he chewed up and swallowed a kangaroo's anus, which I to be honest, I didn't know was a food stuff. Could you eat any of that?
If I had to eat any of them, it would have to be the anus.
What, really?
Yeah, more than the other stuff. I couldn't eat anything that's still alive.
No. I
'cause,
agree.
I
I
think it's
couldn't eat
a bit-
any of that.
bit
I don't know under what circumstances I'd have to go, right, that's it now, we're not going to survive, the ship isn't coming, there is nothing on this island I can eat, give me the crocodile's penis.
So it wouldn't bother me. I could eat anything. I could do almost all of the challenges on that programme, but I couldn't cope in the camp. I couldn't cope with the lack of food and the uncomfortable bed. That's all that would do my head, and I'd drive people spare, whinging and complaining.
I couldn't cope with any aspect of it except the physical challenges. I couldn't cope with sleeping with people snoring, the things crawling over you. I'm not so squeamish about that, like snakes and things. That's all right. But the eating is ridiculous. It's out of the question to eat a worm or a grub.
It doesn't concern me. I don't know why. I don't see really what the difference in it. The texture's probably the same as lots of other things.
What would hunger do to you, though, do you think? Would you think I would change? Do you think, if it really was a choice, if someone said, and I knew I would die if I didn't eat worms...
I think you would, yes. I think you'd complain and you'd whinge for a while, and you'd try and put it off, and you'd hope a ship would turn up. But when it didn't, you'd start chowing down on a bit of crocodile anus.
But then where's the rest of the crocodile?
Well, yeah, that's a
say
good
who's
point.
been eating that? How come I've got this? You know, you're meant to work together as a team in bad time, and yet I'm being handed an anus. Forget it. Let me starve.
Well, thanks for listening. That was the Christmas podcast. We should say the winner of the last competition we did. They can win the podcast book and Flanimals and the extras book that's out, still available,
All available.
and the CD.
The three CD set of the best of the podcast.
Yeah,
is that
with
right? Series
with
1.
a brand new hour. If you haven't got that, get out. Maybe you've got some record tokens.
Yeah, if you've got record tokens or book tokens, those are the perfect things to spend them on.
Or £50 from your auntie.
Exactly.
Go and buy one of those. And the winner was Stephanie Prow from the Wirral.
Well done, Steph.
Well done. Well, thank you to Positive Internet, the guys that host this podcast. That's the end. That's the end of the Christmas podcast and the end of this this team for a little while.
Yeah.
It's been great. So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais. Goodbye from Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye and Happy New Year.
And goodbye from Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Alright. That was alright, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's alright. What are you doing now? You got time for a coffee or something?
I can't now. I'm going to the, you know, the orphanage for terminally ill kids.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going down there. I'll go down there every Christmas and sort of, like,
do you?
entertain them.
Oh,
stuff,
well,
yeah.
I bet that's lovely for them.
Yeah, no, I've actually written a song I'm going to perform. They see The Office and see that I sing in that.
You've written a song for them?
Yeah.
Well, could we hear a bit? I mean, what? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've got the guitar there, is it?
Yeah. Hold on. I wrote this for a kid. He's a brave little guy. He's only about 10, but it's heartbreaking. He's Don't cry, it's Christmas. Santa's coming soon. Though you ain't got a mummy or daddy, Santa still loves you. And he's riding on his reindeer to trample down the gloom. So don't cry, it's Christmas. Santa's coming soon. Don't cry, it's Christmas. Santa's feeling kind, though you know you'll never see him. He's not just in your mind, and it's not that he's invisible. It's because you're going blind. So don't cry, it's Christmas. Santa's feeling kind. Don't cry, it's Christmas. Santa's on his way, though he's got a billion children, and he's only got one day. You've got slightly less than that. If I were you, I'd pray. But don't cry, it's Christmas, and it sounds a little gay. Oh, isn't that be quite moving for everyone?
Yeah, I would ask you now to not play that song.
Oh no, too late now, they expect me.
But I'm not sure it's going to be as well received as you perhaps hope.
I think that's better than any gift, and I don't really want to give gifts because they're expensive.
Sure.
Tell you what, Steve.
Go on.
I did find out in the week.
Yeah.
World record, right? Person with the longest trump.
With the longest what?
Wind fart.
Right.
Right? 2 minutes 42 is the world record.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I'm immediately thinking about a relative of yours who I'm sure did longer than
Who
that.
still lives in Manchester.
Auntie Nora.
Now, Auntie Nora did it for 5
Reportedly,
minutes, wasn't it?
Starfighter for 5 minutes. But, unfortunately, she was the only person in the room. Whereas I think, which one's alive, Ross or Norris McWhirter?
I don't know, actually.
He has to be there.
Yeah, I think he actually has to
He'd
be
have
present.
to be there.
Would you want to be there?
Well, he'd have sort of equipment, and looking at his watch, going, finish? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, that was 4 minutes,
Did she
59
go from like a
seconds.
size 10 to a size 6?
Just
Did she show some old dresses?
like a hovercraft.
Exactly.
In a big dress.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
slightly off. Yeah. So, it has to be invigilated.
But again, you know, how was the Guinness Book of World Records one invigilated? I mean, who was supervising that? Who was
He said,
monitoring
I
that?
can fart for 2 minutes. They went, well, we've got to see this. Went round. And, he just probably let it rip. It's probably circular breathing. He's probably sort of sucking in air and swallowing it as he's going. And it's a continuous one, isn't it? It's not like... Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's how Nora's happened. Me Auntie Nora. She had a little bit of wind. It went on for like 2.5 minutes.
Sure.
That's when she called me mum.
As it was still going on.
And said, there's something not right here.
Up
And,
leaking.
She said, oh, can you send your dad round? You know, my dad.
Yeah.
Saying to me mum.
With a cork.
And
with a lighter. I think this would be the best one
I
ever.
want to show the kids something.
He said, I'll be there in a bit, get the windows open. But what it was down to, because I was talking to
Is
my
she
mum
the
and
one
dad
with the
about it.
split tennis ball?
Yeah.
Can we not talk about that again?
I was talking to my mum and dad about it, saying, you know, why do you think it happened and that? And it's because she never chucks food away, right? And she'll sort of mash it all up. And she's got all these ice cream tubs in the fridge that are just full
Cabbage
of, like,
water.
old, mashed up food.
Really?
And she prepares everything. Right, she doesn't work, she's retired now, she's got nothing to do all day, but everything's got to be ready
Still
for
calls
her.
in sick.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's got to be done. Even though, if you're going round to her house, and you're going there for tea, it's like, what time are you coming? And it's like, well, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, you're
Well, no,
late,
I need
because
to
you're
know,
late when
I
you
need
have to
to
meet
know.
us at 5 or 6.
Do you know what I mean? That's
But
what...
so, when you say she mashes up food, she literally takes the remnants of a dinner, could be sort of some...
anything.
And just smashes it all up into a...
Yeah.
And then what does she do with it?
Put it in the fridge, and she's got in the fridge, it's like January, February, March, she's got all these ice cream boxes that are just full of...
But she doesn't... She reheats it and eats it.
Oh, then she, yeah,
I
puts it in
thought
a
she was
pan.
just keeping it as a
No, no, no,
souvenir
no.
of each meal she'd had.
No, put it in a pan, warm it up.
Oh,
And that's what it is, it's just...
A lot of vegetation, is it?
Yeah.
Why has it only happened once, or does she save it up once a year, just let it go?
I don't know. Well, she is mad,
Yeah, she sounds potty.
She doesn't answer the phone anymore in case there's a burglar. Checking if she's in. It's like, well, answer it and then they'll know you are in and they won't come round.
Yeah.
Mental.
Well,
Mental.
they can't be sure then, can they?
What do you mean?
Well, if there's no, okay, well, maybe it's someone just... They are in, but they're hiding, whereas if Auntie Nora goes, it's Auntie Nora. We can she'll be farting. We can sneak in when she does a loud one. Because we'll be aware of the telly, what's stopping it? It's got a valance round it, it's got caught on the cat.
So, have we got a recap on Rockbusters?
No.
No,
recap.
just has anyone got the right answers? Has
so
anyone
far-
got the right answers?
Let me just check here. Here's one from someone who just says, he's given an answer, answer to number 1, I, number 2, don't, number 3, care.
Right, okay, is he close? Has anyone got 3 answers?
I can't find one with 3 answers.
So, again, you've done something wrong, Karl.
No, no.
This isn't radio, play a record.
There you go, someone's got it.
Give it to them.
Fine, okay, give us the clues again, we'll give the answers straight
Yeah.
away. No fanning around.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really pointless.
Number 1,
Yeah.
all the police cars are on fire.
BS.
BS.
Yeah, what was that?
I can think of something.
Go on.
Blazing Squad.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Right. The director of 28 Days Later is shouting about sleeping outside.
Yeah.
That's Dan Yell Bedingfield. Right?
Danielle
We're never-
Bedingfield.
Right, we'll never let him do this again.
I told you I washed my hands of it.
I know, but I
Why
just
did you
thought...
let him? Why do you...
Because he was grumpy.
But this is what happens. Look what's happened. Danielle Bedingfield. That's what happened.
The director of... So Danny Boy, so Dan, right, all that for Dan, but shouting about being... Dan Yell Bedingfield. Right? What's the last one?
He wants to be a sailor, why is that?
Yeah?
Beyonce.
What does that mean?
Beyonce. He wants to be on the sea.
Play record. You're never doing it again. You've
I
just
can't-
signed your death warrant.
What have we
You're
done?
never doing Rockbusters again. And if Monkey News is back, they would ban that as well.
We've
And we're
unleashed it.
serious this time.
So Joe in Catford. Stuff off to you.
Oh, I can't believe what we've
He's
done.
even doing the shout out.
You won. Well done on that.
What have we done, Rick? What have we done?
There's a little sailor fella. He wants to, join the Navy. Why? Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Knowles is his surname.
Yeah.
Midshipman Knowles. Now, Karl, we're going to do another edition, I think, of Wish You Were Here, because that really cheered you up, didn't it?
So on.
Where else you been? Have you been, you've been around Europe, haven't you? You've been to any hot country? You've been to Greece?
Greece.
Turkey?
Done Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
Been to Turkey. Little fellas. Little midgets working in the canteen in the hotel I was in.
Okay.
Hassling Suzanne as well.
Okay. Have you been to Scotland?
Once for the Edinburgh Festival.
Go on.
That's where I looked out of my hotel room, saw a traffic warden putting a ticket on some bin bags
Brilliant.
because they'd gone into the road.
So that's Turkey, Scotland. What about places here? Have you been to the West Country where
You've been to my neck of the woods, Bristol?
I haven't been. What else is around there?
Bath?
Been to Bath.
Yeah, what do you make of it?
Once you've been, well, they don't need to go again because it's sort of old and they don't change anything.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
That'll be
So
the
what do you
Roman
mean?
spa
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about,
Right,
I think. What about, Brighton?
Not gay people.
Right, okay, thank you. Next week on Wish You Were Here, we'll go to some other places where there are gay people.
Fascinating. And
Brilliant.
Another extraordinary insight there. Carl, could we have some monkey news?
Well, just before we do monkey news, right? Can I do a little psychological test on you?
On me?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's brilliant. This someone emailed it in.
Brilliant.
Right, little story with a question at the end.
Okay.
Right, right.
This is going to be so annoying.
No, it's not. Honestly, it's,
Well, it is, because you're going to think it's science and it's going to be trite.
all right. Well,
Go on.
right. Little story first. Right, there's this funeral, right, and this girl was at a funeral.
Same funeral?
Yeah,
Right.
it was a mother's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She met this fella who she didn't know, right? But she thought this fella who she met was amazing. She didn't know him, right? But she thought he was brilliant, right? Like a dream fella.
Right.
And she fell in love with him, right? But never asked for his number, his phone number, right? And she couldn't find him. Now, a few days later, the girl killed her own sister, right?
Yes.
Question is, why did she do that?
Okay, well, it's one of those stupid things then, isn't it? So, it's not logic, it's what am I thinking?
No, it's not. Seriously, it's a proper, it's a
so it's
proper
real
mental
logic.
test. It's a
It's a-
proper mental test.
A mental test. It is a bit mental.
So you understand the story, yeah?
I kind of. Let me just get it right. So there's a funeral. A girl goes to the funeral of her mother.
Yeah.
She meets the guy, or she
meets the guy at the funeral.
She meets the bloke.
He looks alright. I fancy a bit of that.
Right.
Has a chat with him,
Yeah.
but doesn't get his name, doesn't get a phone number or anything.
So to cut a long story short, the things are answered, right? So the reason she kills her own sister, is this something to do with finding out something about the man she met?
Well, just answer the thing. Just why did
Oh,
she-
okay then. I'll answer it then. She went mental. He was a spy called Derek. What do you mean, just answer it?
Anyway, I'm testing Steve.
Right. Well, she killed her own sister because her sister had stolen some money from her and was sleeping with her husband.
Is that it?
Well, I don't know, Carl.
It's an answer. It's an answer.
I don't know.
What's the answer on the paper? So,
Well, come on.
come on!
Well, the answer is
No, an answer is...
that she was hoping that the guy would appear at the funeral again. He'd go to the funeral.
Right, that's not a proper psychological test.
It is,
It's
it
one of
says
those
here.
stupid little shitty things.
It says
It's
here.
like a man goes into a field and dies. Why? His parachute didn't open. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm surprised
It's-
you'd learn anything.
Oh,
Honest to
I
God,
love
I'm
that.
surprised you'd
Romeo
learn
and
anything.
Juliet. Oh, Juliet's a fish.
It said she was hoping that the guy would appear again at the funeral. If you answered this correctly, you think like a psychopath. This was a test by a famous fella, right, who used it on killers, and most of the killers got the answer right.
Did you also think that? Was that the answer that you gave when you
No,
first
I
read
didn't know. But I wondered what you would have got.
Good. So that's
but
proof
it's
I'm not a
yeah,
psychopath.
but that's the point. But it's a psychological test for looking at something very, very specific.
What's up with that?
Well, what was the best that could happen? That he'd got it right, so he is a psychopath.
What annoys me is you're not happy with that test, but before you wasted 3 minutes trying to balance a pear on my head. What were you getting out of that?
Let's play a song and have some monkey stuff.